Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gum Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Aim Sarasvataye Namaha. Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Yanamurtim Bhavadidan Triguna Rahitam Sadgurum Tam Namame Chaitanyam Shasvatam Shantam Nirakalam Nirandalam Nada Bindu Kalatitam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva Maheshvara, Guru Sachat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Dhyanamulam Guru Murti, Pujamulam Guru Padam, Mantramulam Guru Vakyam, Mokshamulam Guru Kripa. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murtaye Nishprabhanjaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murtaye Nishprabhanjaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase. Om Gum Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Gum Gurubhyo Namaha. O ye powers that be, O great Spirit, saints and sages of all times, of all places, O ye ancestors of all of the lineages to whom we attune, O ye beings of the air, the earth, the fire, the water, the ether, most beloved and precious Ishtadevata, in all of thy names and all of thy forms, and in thy formless presence, Namaste. Om Saha Navavatu Saha Now Bunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvi Navridam Astu Ma Vidvishavahai. May our communication be clear. May we hear that which needs to be heard. May we speak that which needs to be spoken. May we be uplifted and vivified during our time together. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Namaste. Welcome, welcome to my heart. Above the head of the divine are three jewels. The jewel of compassion, the jewel of wisdom, and the jewel of non-violence. Now, in the ancient days, this was well known. In the ancient days, there was a monastery, and before you entered the monastery, you had to take vows. And the first vow was to attune, so that you could attain wisdom, compassion, nonviolence. Compassion, wisdom, nonviolence. Nonviolence, compassion, wisdom. Whatever order you chose. But there were rules about how you dressed, rules about when you woke up, when you went to sleep, when you did your practice, and how you interacted with the people outside of the monastery. Time goes on. Young man comes to the monastery. He takes his vows, and he's very serious. He takes his vows very, very literally and very seriously. He did not understand the nature of life yet. After being there a few years, the head monk calls the young man and he said, I want you to go run an errand for me, and I'm going to send you with Monkji here, Swamiji here, who has been here a long time and who knows the ways. You should watch him. This is the first time you're going out in public. Watch him. Pay attention. So off they go. Day 1 is fine. Everything goes good. Day 2 is fine. Everything goes well. Day 3, it rains. Rain, rain, rain. And the roads get muddy, really muddy and clayish, and their sandals get all dirty, and their robes get covered with mud. And they come to a stream. Next to the stream is a young woman, beautifully dressed. She's going to visit her parents. She's been away for a long time. Grandmama's birthday. They're going to have a big celebration. She is beautifully dressed, standing under her umbrella, trying to hold her skirts up because it is muddy and messy and mucky. And the young man stomps through the mud, and the older priest says, wait, 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 wait. Soft, silent, quiet. Don't splatter her. She's just a woman. She's just don't splatter her. Stay over here. Stay over here. Mamji, can I help you across? Can I help you across? Oh, that would be so great. I don't want to get my outfit ruined. I'm going to a family party and I haven't seen Grandmama and Mama and Papa for the longest time. And I want them to know that I'm doing well. But if I show up muddy, it'll be very rude. No worries, no worries. Keep your umbrella over your head. With that, he takes his robes, ties them in a knot, puts them in the rope around his neck, around his waist rather, ties them up so his bare legs are showing, and leans over and swoops her up in his arms and very steadily walks across the creek, stepping on the rocks carefully. Didn't slip in the mud once. Gets to the other side and finds a beautiful piece of dry grass to set her down upon, and very gently sets her down. Brushes his hands off. Do you need anything else, my dear? No, 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 no. Thank you, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now I can go. Now I can go. And off she scampers along the path to Mom and Dad's house. So the monk continues along his way. Oh. But he can feel next to him. Oh, he can feel next to him. With every step, the young monk is really angry. And they go on for 1 mile. They go on for 2 miles. And you can feel the steam coming out of his ear, and he's stomping on the flowers, and he's stomping on the ground, and he's finally the elder monk stops, pulls out his water bottle and takes a glass, a little sip. I think we better sit. What's your problem, G? What's wrong? You've been acting like a child, having a temper tantrum since we crossed the creek. What is your problem? Well, you know we are not supposed to touch women. You know that. You have been in the order longer than I have. You have taken, and you broke your vow in front of me. How could you do that? You are a fool. You are an evil man. Really? Is that so? Well, I think, my dear, that we took the vow first of wisdom, compassion, and nonviolence. Now, my heartfelt compassion for that soul. She needed to get across the creek, to go see her family, to go pay attention to her family, to give them her love. My heart was moved with compassion. My mind, my consciousness says, the wisest way to do this is to roll up my robes and carry her across safely so she didn't have to risk anything. And my mind was peace-filled. My mind was filled with santosha, with contentment in having made the right decision. But you, what has happened? You have carried that young woman half the day now. I carried her across the river 5 minutes. You have carried her half the day now. You have become so violent. You've trampled the flowers, you've trampled the earth, you've left your hate-filled, judgmental thoughts all over. Where is your compassion? Where is your santosha, your non-violence, your contentment, instead of focusing on ahimsa, let go of the violence? Where is that? Where is the wisdom? But you broke a vow. No. I abided by the higher vow that I have taken, the higher good that I have taken. There is a hierarchy in our lives, my son. There is a hierarchy of that which we must do. There is always the highest vow. What is the highest vow for you? For me, and for those who have entered our order, it is supposed to be wisdom, compassion, and nonviolence. Or, if you will, nonviolence, compassion, and wisdom. Compassion, nonviolence, wisdom. Compassion, wisdom, nonviolence. However you order it, it matters not. Compassion flows from wisdom. Nonviolence must flow from wisdom and compassion. What have you done? And with that, the young man began to sob and berate himself and beat himself verbally, not physically. It was close. Oh, woe is me. I'm no good. I made an error. Oh, they're going to kick me out of the monastery. I know you're going to tell on me. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Neti, 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 neti. Why do you think we were sent on this journey? so that you would have the opportunity to practice, to encounter life situations, so that you could practice to live your vows, so that you left the safety of the monastery. You think I needed to come along? You think I needed to go on this errand? You think that he couldn't have sent you on your own? Of course he could. We've all been on journeys on our own, and I, my son, have been out here many, 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 many times. But this journey is for you to walk in the world after you have taken your vows, so that you might see, can I live my life in accordance with the higher good? Or am I stuck? Am I stuck? Now, in time, the young man calmed his mind. In time, they went on their journey. In time, they returned to the monastery. And many, 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 many breaths later, that young man grew and matured and became the head of that monastery. And one day he too right before he took his office, he took a young monk on a walk, on a trip. And wouldn't you know it, they came to a stream, and there was another young woman there, waiting to cross. And what do you think he did at that time? It is said that from that time forward, every abbot who came to take over the monastery, the night before, the day before, the journey before, he took his final vows to lead as abbot. Took a young monk on a walk for a few days, and surprisingly, they all came to a creek. And for each one, there was mud and muck, and for each one they picked up a beautiful woman and carried her across and blessed the young monk with their wisdom. Your life is about your choices. Your life is about understanding what is important at this time, in these circumstances. What is important to you? What is the most important thing that you can be doing with your life today, right now, at this moment? What is it? I can't tell you. I can give you a hint to look, to see. I can say, those jewels above the head of God. Now, interestingly, you don't see freedom. You see wisdom, compassion, and nonviolence. But you don't see freedom. And yet we know that along the path is ruled by the laws of karma, the law of cause and effect, the principle upon this realm, within this realm, that says, you are Aham Brahmasmi, you are the creator, you are the creator and the bringer of your own karma. Do be careful about the karma you bring for others. This is a vital concept to understand and to apply in your life. And I know that sometimes reflecting upon it, sometimes hearing about it, one says, I don't get it. I don't understand it. What does she mean? What do you mean, aham brahmasmi? How can it be I created these circumstances in my life? Somebody did it to me. No. Nobody did it to you. Nothing can come into your life, my dear, unless you are relative to it. Not God, not guru, not mother, not father, not brother, not sister, not friends, not wealth, not happiness, not joy, not anger, not hatred, not confusion. You must be relative to it for it to come in. And so make yourself relative to only those things which are beneficial to you, to only those things which are helpful to you, to only those things which will bring blessings into your life, which will expand your horizon of awareness. Now, it does not mean that life is going to be always easy. There are, as my beloved guru always said, there are good days and then there are really good days. And we must say, on those good days, just remember that thou art good. Here's the rub. I said, thou art good. And from goodness, only goodness can come. Well, what's the problem? We're all the young monk. We're all the young monk. We think that we have a higher value in our life. But then a circumstance arises and we, I don't know, fall back into, become relative to, attuned to some lesser value, some lesser state of consciousness, if you will. And we go in that direction. So you may say that your life is driven by compassion until you run into somebody who does something that you find really appalling. Now, in the last few weeks, there have been, well, in the last couple of years around the world, there have been what seems to be an acceleration of events that cause one's mind to face the challenge of emotionality. And recently, those events, it's like a wave coming in. You watch the wave crashing into the shore, and it, was looking at the waves from Lake Superior a few moments ago, and it's fall, and so the waves are just really crashing in. But it's not consistent, right? There's these big, 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 big waves coming in, and then it slows down, it slows down, it slows down, it slows down. And then for a few moments it'll be tranquil and peaceful, and looks like there's a plate of ice in front of you, a mirror of ice in front of you. Such it is with your life. It's not always these massive moments of emotionality coming in. And so we must use every moment that we have to say, how do I gain the skills so when those waves come in, I know how to step out of the way. When the waves come in, I know what to do to step back so that I am not pulled under. For when you attune to the emotionality of your mind, when you allow the emotionality of your mind to grow, to bubble over, if you will, to become like a cauldron, if you will, you are just adding to the problem that you have. No. Easier said than done, I can hear some of you say. or I don't know your problems. I do, I do, I do, I do. I tell you I do. I feel it. I feel it. And oh, your thoughts of so many of you are so strong. Now, what is to be done to help along the way? Well, there's this concept of freedom. Freedom. And many, many people think this concept of freedom means that you have the right to do whatever you want to do. I should be free to say what I want to say. I should be free to speak how I want to speak. I should be free to act how I want to act, regardless of the environment in which I am in. No. Neti, neti, neti. Neti, neti, neti. Neti, neti, neti. This is not true. We need to learn, each of us, what's the environment at this moment? Where am I at this moment? Is it raining outside? Do I need an umbrella? Do I need to protect my aura before I walk into that situation? Do I need to rest before I walk into that situation? Do I need to mentally bow? Do I need to forgive anyone? Do I need to chant mantra? Do I need to do affirmations? Free them from their negative thoughts so they do not pass them on to me. Free them. Free me. Free me. Free them. Free me from my negative thoughts that I do not pass them on to them. Free them. Free me. Free me. Free them. We must do something. And we must recognize, let go of this idea that in life you have the freedom to do whatever you please. Now, sounds a little contradictory, doesn't it? Because I just said a few moments ago that the laws of karma are aham brahmasmi. You are the creative principle. Well, if you're the creator, you should be able to create whatever you want, however you want, whenever you want. No. We are living in a world of time, a world of kala. And therefore time and place is very important. Knowing, is this the right time? What should I say to them at this time? How should I speak at this time? What should I be thinking at this time? What you can say to someone at one moment, you may not be able to say to them at another moment. One of the deep mystical truths of life is that there's many times that you can say something at the right time, in the right way, and it will be just fine. Just fine, You've seen it. You've had this experience, I'm sure. Walking into the room and you realize, I don't have any money. Oh, well, let me go ask Joe. Hey, I walked out without my wallet. Can you lend me 20? Or could you pay for this for me? I'll give you the money later on today. Sure, no problem. Open the wallet, give it to you. No problem at all. Or, hey, can you call and take care of this airline ticket for me? I'll give you the credit card tonight, or I'll transfer you the money tonight. Oh, sure, Guruji. I'd be glad to do that for you. Or you walk into the room and it's all strangers and you don't know anybody. Oh my goodness, who do I ask? Can I borrow $1? Could you help me here? No. Or, okay, sure. But there's a resistance, is what I'm saying. There's a resistance. And what you are trying to do is open yourself to being attuned to life where there is no resistance. Do you understand? Where you are attuning to life where there is no resistance. This is very important. And that you realize as you are doing so, the time you are in, the place you are in. There are wars going on around the world. About 24, 25 of them right now. Some places they're called conflicts, some places they're called wars. I'm not sure that I know the difference, but that's about the number that's going on around the earth right now. And I'm sure it's an underestimate. Now, you've certainly read, I certainly have, of several cases of people, and I read something just the other day of a young person who was working in a very, very well-paying job. Happy, wife, children. And he's of a certain racial background, okay? He's affiliated with a country, let's just say that. He has a strong affiliation with a country. Not that he lives there, but that his family was from there. Grandparents, great-grandparents, quite a ways back. And so he decides, what does he decide to do? And this to me is fascinating, and I hope you hear me. He was free, he has a family, he has children, and he had a good, well-paying job. And he decided to leave all of that behind, and go to war. Now, nobody called him. He wasn't called up, he wasn't asked to volunteer. He leaves the country he's in, and he goes to this other country and, walks into the army and says, can I join up? And when he was asked why, he said, well, I couldn't allow this to happen to, the people that I was related to, if you will. Couldn't allow this to happen without my stepping in to help. Well, that's a piece of karma, isn't it? That's a real piece of karma. In that case, one has to say, where's the higher wisdom? Where's the sense of what is right? Where's your higher sense of responsibility? Where's your sense of responsibility to that wife, to those children? Wasn't there something else that you could do without risking your very precious human life? This is not new. I mean, Swami Pranananda knew of a young man who went off to another war because he felt that he could not allow his former countrymen, and he lost his life because of that. Maybe you're not going off to war, but you need to ask yourself on a daily basis, what are you stepping into, my dear? What are you stepping into? What wars are you stepping into? What karma are you stepping into? Because you are driven by the emotionality of your mind. And you think that you are moving freely. It's my free decision to go there. Oh, nitty, nitty, nitty. You're being driven by the karma. You need to ask yourself, we always need to ask ourselves, what is it that is driving me? What am I doing? What am I being compelled by? If you're free, you're not being driven by the karma. If you're free, you're able to feel that compulsion to eat the chocolate and not eat the chocolate. or to say something cruel to somebody because they offended you. You don't have to do that. Just because the thought rises in your mind doesn't mean you have to do that. To be free means to be able to stop momentarily the cessation of the karma that is flowing into your life. It means to be able to turn inward, to ascend upward, inward, upward, inward, upward. So that you have the capacity to make the best decisions in your life. To be free is to step out of the emotional running, ranting, and raving of the mind. Step aside from that. Let it go. Why? And how? 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 Now, there is a question, really, about the concept of free will. And that question is whether or not it exists on the earth plane. And there are many examples of people who will tell you they think it exists, but then there are others who will say that they don't. And Shelley, many years ago, decided to test his own free will. And he had had a lucid dream in which he saw that in 3 days he was going to be in a park, and there was going to be a child running up a high tower, if you will, in the park. Now, Shelley was a very sensitive soul, and he could see that if he saw the child, he was going to want to run up. But he's afraid of heights, so he didn't want to run up. He wanted somebody else to take care of it. So he woke up and he made a vow that he was not going to run up that tower. 3 days later, sure enough, finds himself in a park, looking around, nothing's happened. Oh, he sees a tower. And the next thing you know, there's a little boy in blue running up the tower. And the next thing you know, Shelley G is running right after him, right up the tower. And he says, I get halfway up the tower. I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I doing here? What did I do? What am I doing here? How did I get here? And, little boy's mama was watching him, and little boy's mama follows, and, And Shelley is stuck up there, frozen, with his fear of heights and the emotionality of his mind. And, to me, that memory of him speaking of that has stuck with me for a long time, because it's very, very vital and important that he was willing to admit that he had a problem. We all do, right? Every single one of us. And he said, I'm very suspicious about our ability to exercise free will when a piece of karma is manifesting. And thus we need to create a habit that will help us before the event comes. And so the practice of breathing Kriya, breathing Hong Sa Kriya, the practice of chanting mantra, the practice of using affirmations, all of these things will give your mind a place to go, an option to choose, so that when the practice of forgiveness, the mental bow, the practice of observing, loving kindness meditation, lots of these practices will give you the capacity, when your mind becomes agitated, when you feel as if you're right in the throes of some piece of karma manifesting, that you'll say, I see, I can do this differently. And the mind automatically moves off of the emotionality, the emotional channel, the run there. But the practice must be done now. Going back to the beginning. There are all kinds of rules in life. They change depending upon where you go. You know, you're in Japan, you take your shoes off. You're in China, you leave your shoes on. You're in America, you do whatever is appropriate for the building you're in. But there must be a higher set of values that you live your life by. Not because a priest, not because a Swami tells you, but because you feel that it's important. Now, if I choose wisdom, from wisdom, if I choose wisdom, well, you know, it's wise to be happy. Well, to be happy, I must become compassionate. To be happy, I must accept that everybody is trying to be happy in their own way. And I must accept that. I must accept the nature of life rather than trying to fight the nature of life. If I become compassionate for them, I can become compassionate for myself. And then, always from the compassion flows non-violence. You cannot have compassion for another and be violent. On the battlefield of duty, on the battlefield of heart's desire, this is where we live. There once were two souls on the battlefield, Arjuna and Krishna. And Arjuna looks out and sees in front of him his family, his friends, his loved ones. And he says to Krishna, I want to put down my sword. I do not want to go here. I don't want to be part of this battle. I do not want this. Let me walk away. And Krishna said, you must fulfill your duty. You are here. You picked up that sword. You picked up the bow and arrow. And you must balance your chakras, Arjuna. You must balance your chakras and bring peace and equanimity to the land. And that means that you may need to oppose those who are filled with the emotionality, or neutralize them, become no longer relative to them. And Arjuna said, if I'm not relative to them, they will leave my life. I won't see them anymore. I love them. Ah, yes. What is the higher good? What is the higher good? What is the highest good that you can follow? And that is what you must follow. I hope you know and hear that that's all very symbolic. But it's very important. Sometimes we have people who have been in our lives and the paths no longer are harmonious. And we must say, well, it is time, bless them and let them go. Do not carry, that young woman is a symbol of the moon, your emotions. Venus, because she's young, your loving emotions, your emotions towards those that you love. Don't carry the hatred and the anger and the resentment on and on and on and on and on, and let it harden. Let it go. Let it go and become free of the karma, the self-created karma of anger, of resentment, of jealousy, of judgmentalness. And attune to that which is more important. Attune to that which is more important. Tune to that which is the highest of the values that you hold in your life. Become filled with wisdom. Become filled with compassion. And then let nonviolence fill every corner of your being. Let the choice to become nonviolent in your thoughts, in your words, in your actions, let that choice be yours, so that you think more peacefully, that you speak more peacefully, and that you act more peacefully. And if you think you're not violent, well then, walk down the street, drive down the street, and watch your mind, and ask yourself, well, what happened there? Watch the thoughts. Did you see somebody walking towards you and think, how could they wear that? How could they go out looking like that? Or, oh, what a, or this or that or the other thing, you know? Let all those go. Let all of that go. Become a blessing, an ever greater blessing to all of those who enter your aura. And now let us join, please, in a meditation. As we do, I would like to say to you that next Sunday is our annual blessing for the departed. You will receive a special link, an email link for this blessing. And so this week you may wish to prepare. I will be sending you a note on if you wish to send the names of your departed to me, you may do that. But I would really urge you to come and to invite those that you wish to invite. It is a most special day that we come together to bring our spiritual energies and remember our loved ones. Remember how we have loved and who we have loved and how we have been blessed with their love. And come together and honor them and remember their goodness. It is one of the most joyful, special days of the year. Sometimes it can seem emotionally hard. But when you step back and realize how much you have been loved and how much you have loved, it is quite an amazing thing. So we honor all of those human beings and other beings who have been in our lives. And now let us move into meditation. Namaste. Sitting with your spine erect, placing your hands in the Om Mudra. Turn your head to the left, exhaling twice. And bring the head back to the center. Using the sipping breath, move the energy from the limbs to the trunk. And now from the trunk to the spinal column. From the base of the spine to the sun center. take that energy as a golden ball of light out in front of you. Expand that light and sweep your light around your body, moving to the left 3 times, encasing your body in the golden light. Expand that golden ball of light. And now ascend to the high plains, above the room, above the building, above the continent, above the earth plane. Entering the grove of the meditators. Find your place in meditation. You see in front of you, in your third eye, you see a path in front of you, calling you. The path leads up the mountain. Enter the path. Ascend into the forest. Ascend. Ascend. You see the sunlight dappling through the forest. You hear the water running. The earth is soft beneath your feet, as if you were floating. Ascend. The path opens to a meadow, radiant with light, radiant with the birds and the butterflies and the dragonflies and all of the colors. It beckons to you. As you walk through, you feel blessed. You're ascending upward. You ascend up. You see a pine forest in front of you. Pines are calling you. You enter the forest. ascend. You come to a clearing. You see a shrine. You are surrounded by the pines as far as your eyes can see. They are bowing and blessing you. Bless them in return. The shrine is calling you. Brilliantly lit. Enter into the shrine. Walk to the light at the back of the shrine. You see a pool of light and a waterfall of light. Step into the pool. Sink in the pool of light, allowing all of the old to dissolve away. Walk under the waterfall of light. Let the light pour over your crown center. Pouring through you, washing away the karmas, clearing away the karmas, filling the space with light. Accept the blessing of the light. Now walk forth from the waterfall. Walk into the pool of light, feeling yourself clothed anew and vivified and strengthened. Breathing in the light. Leave your shrine. And ascend to the high place of meditation. You see in the grove the Om, the flame of Kriya, lit with the Om. Joining together, let us send forth our blessings. For Mother Gaia herself, we send our gratitude and our blessings that she have that which she needs. Let us do this with chanting the Om Shanti 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 mantra. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. For all of those upon the earth who are living with hard hearts, we send forth the blessings that their hearts may be softened, that they might be filled with compassion and wisdom and nonviolence. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. For all of those who are hungry, who are lonely, who are in need of the blessings of life. For all of those whose minds are confused, whose relationships are in confusion. We send forth these blessings at this moment, that they might have that which they need. O ye powers that be, join with us, that these blessings go where they are most needed, in the right way, the right time. That our intent radiate forth these blessings. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. filled with the Anandic bliss. Feel the radiant bliss of Ananda pouring down upon your crown center and filling you, filling every cell of your being. Let that Anandic bliss radiate forth from you to all of life. Om Shanti, 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 Om Shanti, 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 Om Shanti, 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 Namaste, Namaskar. Hold on to the sweetness of this feeling. Hold on to the sweetness of this consciousness and carry it with you and radiate it forth to all of those in need. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste, Namaskar.